Give everybody a minute or two to get going here. Ooh. Half of me looks like I got a little sunburn today. Video, where are we? There we go. Hi, Sherry. I don't have any boring knitting to work on while I'm chatting with you guys. My hands are empty. Mute all the things. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. Melissa shaking her head at me, but I don't know if that's at me or just at things in general in front of her face. John says, yep. Okay. All right. So let's see. Look back through comments here. Holly, look a little red, working on lemon spritz and a few other things. Yeah, everybody, tell me what you're working on. I want to know what everybody's got going on. Patty, Shar, Nicole, deciding if you want to work on your eclipse shawl or the rainbow blanket. Thank you, Patty. Hi, E. As a reminder, if for some reason something gets a little glitchy and you're watching on Facebook, you can always jump over to YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, you can always jump over to Facebook. Even if you don't have a Facebook account, they still will allow you to go on and watch videos. E working on a VBAC tee, awesome. Yeah. This side of my neck looks really red. Funny, I didn't notice that until just now. Patty doing a fence top fence. If you say fence, it sounds like you're from the South. All right. We get a drink. Lee, working on your rubber sweater. Excellent. Jackie was working on her Love Your Sweater, the pattern by Becca Anderson that came out on LYS Day last Wednesday, which she was in. I can't wait to see it if she brings it tomorrow. Nope, Wednesday. It's beautiful, two different color purples. Surprise, surprise, for those of you who know her. It looks like a completely different sweater compared to mine. She's using two of the same weight yarn versus a fuzzy mohair yarn. Hi, Jill. And it looks really great. Makes me want to do another one with more, two more solid colors so you can see the stitch definition in a different way. But you lose the texture. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Joyce, working on Sock Madness round 5 sock. Bibliophiles Mark sock. Oh yeah, that's the next sock is supposed to look like a big bookmark that has a piece hanging off that. It's very interesting. Hi, Oriana. So welcome to Monday Motivation. Today is May 6th, 2024. My name is Kristen. I am the owner of the Little Yarn Shop located in downtown Saginaw, Michigan, inside the SVRC Marketplace. As a reminder, Marketplace hours are Wednesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Shop hours are Wednesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Didn't know that was an option. Must have been why ones that stuff on Ravelry look different. Yeah, bunch of different options on there. I did what the original said, but she said, yeah, as an alternative, you could use the same weight yarn instead of doubling the mohair. The mohair gives it kind of a subtler look, and then you get that texture to it too. So what other reminders? Deb does drop-in help classes Monday nights from 6:30 to 8:30 in the front lobby. That's $10 for 2 hours, and you get help from either her and or Ashley. They both are here to help with whatever problems you might be working on. If you have a project that's not yarn from the shop that's been sitting for a while and you are stuck on something, Monday nights are the perfect time to come in and get help with those types of things. So that's an option. Upcoming events this Saturday, the day before. Hi, Heather. Like actual live. Awesome. This Saturday from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. up in the ballroom on the second floor is the Art Jamboree. Again, that is a monthly thing. The vendors do change a little bit each month. There are some that are pretty consistent, but they still have some rotation with some of the vendors. And it's a lot of really cool, different stuff. There's one vendor that does these little felted landscapes, or little landscapes, I guess, with like moss, but then little felted mushrooms and fairies. They're just so cool. Lots of really different ideas than what you would see if you went to like a craft fair. It's not at all a craft fair thing. These are definitely artists. Um, so that is this Saturday. This Sunday, the 12th, is Mother's Day. So if you need to give people ideas on stuff to get for you, they can always get you a gift certificate. We do them for any dollar amounts. We can email them, we can mail them, we can hold them here in the shop for people. So pass that on to your loved ones to, they can show you some love by getting you a little yarn shop gift certificate. Sunday is also the first weekend for knitting at the farm, with the farm at Apple Acres in Bay City on Salzburg Road between 3 Mile and 4 Mile. That starts at 1. They show up at 1. The ice cream shop inside opens at 2. I want to remind everybody, if you do go, bring your own chair. Like camping style chairs work well. And there's some shade and some sun, so there's a little bit of a variety. Last year, one of the weekends that Victoria and I went, we took a camping blanket, and she just kind of laid down and took a nap in the sun. But she was there in person and in spirit. So that is coming up the 11th and the 12th. I know it is a little bit short notice, but I wanted to get this done before the end of the month, and the end of the month is pretty busy. So a week from tomorrow, so May 14th, which would be a Tuesday, next Tuesday, we are going to be doing our spring yarn tasting for Barocco. So it's sampling of 6 different yarns, and I'm going to do things a little bit differently this time. I'm hoping to have swatches of each of the yarns made up ahead of time, so you can kind of feel the fabric for each one, and then start working with whichever one you think you want to play with the most based on that. But we do have prizes for drawings. And you get a yarn tasting book. You get the kit of the 6 different mini balls of yarn. It costs $20 for the class or for the event. And you get $10 off anything you purchase for the day. That is if it's any of the yarns that we talked about. If we don't carry it here in the shop, we can special order it, have it dropped, shipped to you, except for the really fun one that is out of stock. Tilly, the one that I did a pink top out of. A few of you have gotten that yarn already. Hi, Julie, working on testnet for Samantha Guerin in Bonfire Tea. Cool. So there are 2 different sessions, 6 people in each session. One will go 11 to 1, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. The other one will go 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. That is next Tuesday, the 14th. So that filled up really quickly last time we did that. So if you're interested, make sure you either let us know, or Melissa posted the link for you to go on, sign up online for that. What's next? Another possible gift idea for Mother's Day, or just for yourself, or for somebody that you love that is a crocheter. I posted a few weeks back about the Knitter's Pride or Knit Pro, same company, their Mellow Crochet hook set. So this comes with 7 hook sizes. They give, let's see, US size 3 millimeter, E, G, 7, H, I, and J, which would be a 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5, 5.5, and 6 millimeter. You get a wool needle, scissors, tape measure, locking stitch markers in this beautiful case. So this is such a fun, I have 2 of these left. And just the box itself is really cool. It magnetically closes. Within there, you get this beautiful geometric clutch. It would be the cutest purse. I should have actually thought about something like this for Victoria for prom. She needed something that would haul around a few things, but not too many things. And everything I had was either tiny or gigantic. So it's like the top part is suede, the bottom is more of a smooth faux leather, I would say. But these hooks are just, they're just absolutely beautiful. So each one has a carved wooden handle. And then it's almost like a rose gold finish on the end of them. So they're more of the sharper hook style. I don't know if you guys can see that very well, probably not, but it's the sharper hook style. The little dip in the handle. They are not super heavy. The wood is really light, but it fits really nicely in your hand. So, and the millimeters and the hook letter, depending. So it'll say like 4 millimeter G6, all right on the metal part. So you don't have to worry. Some of the wooden ones we've had in the past, the wood, the writing comes off the wood. So really, it's beautiful. So we've got 2 sets of this left. Melissa did post the link to, we've got them listed on the website. So that is what's in the main pouch. And then in the back little zipper compartment here, we have all sorts of goodies. And I threw some on the floor. So kind of a rose gold coppery color wool needle. Their wool needles have this like flexible, almost like fishing line eye to them, which works really well for bulkier yarns to try it instead of trying to thread it through like the eye of a regular tapestry needle. This works a little bit better. We do sell these, not in this rose gold color, but we do sell sets of 3 wool needles, but they are handy to have if you work with bulkier yarns. Rose gold scissors. I love these collapsible scissors. They are great for travel. Plus they are little, so they don't take up a whole lot of space. A really nice black tape measure. And a set of the pear pin style stitch markers. So all of that comes in this little case. They are $91 and would be a great gift for yourself, or tell somebody to get one for you. If they really loved you, they would. So I wanted to show that off. I got that, we got them in store a couple weeks ago, and it just occurred to me that we never actually talked about them. And let's see, I finished something. I just finished it this afternoon, so it has not been blocked. But and once I block it, it will be a completely different monster. Monster is not the right word, but Lee, okay, good. I'm sure Melissa is making note of that for me. So I was working on the Trust Fall shawl, which is one of the shawl patterns from LYS Day that if you bought the yarn, you got the download code for the free pattern. And we used the Variations DK yarn, which is 100% superwash merino, 100 grams, 254 yards. So it's a DK. It has a little bit less yardage than the yarn she used, so we needed 3 of these. And it's off the needles. So the way this shawl grows, it grows 4 stitches every right side row and 2 stitches every wrong side row. So it's not very deep, but it is very, very long. I can't even get it in the camera, my wingspan. And it's not even been blocked yet. So it will get a bit deeper. with blocking once this yarn relaxes a little bit, but it's such a cool texture, and it's a 12, basically a 12 row repeat. So you can make it as big or as small as you want. And then it's got a little bit additional lace toward the end. Not complicated at all. If you can knit 3 and pass 1 over, you can knit this shawl. We had talked last week about what if you didn't want it so wide and you wanted it to grow more deeply instead of wide so quickly. You could do that by changing the number of stitches, like increasing 2 on the wrong side row and only 2 on the right side row instead of 4. The only thing I would caution with that is making sure that you have the right number of stitches when you get to your pattern rows. So everything lines up, because it does kind of, oh, where's a good way to show that? They kind of offset. So you want to make sure that that lines up properly. But I finished it. It's off the needles. That will probably get a bath tonight or tomorrow. So next week I'll probably show it off, but it'll be nice and smooth. I posted last week about the hexagon blanket that I was working on. So I started one, and I wish I had a link to an actual written pattern for the hexagons. They're calling it the amazing hexagon motif. All we have is a link to a YouTube tutorial, but the YouTube tutorial is very well done. And if you are, I would not say this is a beginning crochet project, because you are carrying 2 yarns at the same time and you're switching back and forth between them. But she shows you exactly how to do that. And it's not difficult, but it is just a little bit enough that you have to keep track of it. But if you are experienced enough as a crocheter, once you get one motif done, it's easy enough to just keep going. She also has a video on how to join them together as you go. Written pattern coming soon. Yay, hopefully that's true. So I started one so you could see exactly how it's started. So it starts with a magic ring, and you alternate with your 2 colors. I have one more round to put on this, but as I do that last round is when I'm going to join it to the others. But I wanted to start one and have it not joined, because once they join together, it's kind of difficult to see what the actual hexagon looks like on its own. So this is what I have so far, and I'm not really going in any direction. I'm just kind of picking a side and joining it as I go. But look at how cool that looks when you join them together. So there's the star, which would be like the center of one. And then when you join them together, they make little circles around it. I just think it's so cool. And they really do, yeah, it does look like a quilt. They really do work up pretty quickly. I sat down as I was chatting with Melissa like 20 minutes before we started. I was working on this one and also trying to set up all of the things for the live. So they work up really quickly. The only thing I am finding, so she links to a separate tutorial on how to do the join as you go, which gives you just a really thin line between them. Once I figured out with the first one, see if I can look at this and see where the first one was. It's looking kind of wonky. I think this one was one of the first ones I joined where the circle doesn't look quite so much like a circle. Maybe we'll put that at one corner of it. What is this going to be? My hope is this is going to turn into an Afghan that Victoria can take off to school with her in the fall if I stick with it and get it done. For those who don't know, she has chosen to go to Michigan State University, and it's not in your face true green and white, but I thought it was a fun little nod to green and white without being so green and white. So the yarns I'm using are Barocco's Vintage Baby Hand Paint. This is one of their new colors. And so their Vintage Baby is like their Vintage DK, but it has a little bit of a different makeup to it. So it's 52% acrylic, 40% wool, 8% nylon. So they added last year a couple hand dyed, hand painted colors and these variegated. The first round they did kind of speckly colors. Now they're doing more variegated colors. So this winds into a ball and looks like that and crochets up to look like that with the white. For the moment, I am using Plymouth Dream Baby DK for my white because that's what I had on hand. It's not going to be enough to get the blanket done, but I think it'll be a seamless enough swap that I can get more of the vintage baby in white and continue on with the blanket. But I played around with it a little bit. Different hook sizes. The tutorial uses definitely a thicker yarn and a bigger hook, but I just really wanted to use this yarn and show it off. So we were kind of chatting the other day about how it would be fun to make. You could do like placemats, keep it kind of, if I hadn't joined that last hexagon on there, it would be like fun little placemats or table coverings or all sorts of cool ideas. They had posted a link to one on the Facebook group that I saw that was like a white with then a rainbow color or a black with a rainbow. I don't remember, but it looked so cool. Or a bib. Yeah. We did say it looked like a bib at one point. Initially I looked at self-striping, like a worsted weight self-striping yarn. I thought that would be really cool, but the more I thought about it, the more I thought the way you want things to be contiguous from one hexagon to the next with a self-striping yarn, you wouldn't get that same look. So you want two solids or variegated tonals that are going to give you that look. But that's my latest obsession is this guy. So Victoria hasn't seen me working on it. So I'm not totally tied to or held to getting this done for her when she goes off to school, but we'll see. Or if I even make it that big, it might just be a shop sample of a baby blanket. As I join the pieces though, I did find I need some sort of table or something in front of me as I'm getting the pieces together because it is kind of bulky or awkward to try and work that join together as you go. Now that I'm done with my trust fall shawl, I plan to get back to knitting my winter, what is it called? Winter chill sweater, the cable-y sweater. I looked at it today. That's one step closer. I have to charge my iPad so I can get my Knit Companion back up and running and get myself back on track with that. Yarns that did not come in time for LYS Day. Let me look at my notes and see if we talked about it last week. I don't think we did. I don't see it on my list. So Wonderland had some blossoms in DK, everything or in sport. Everything they did this year was a sport weight yarn. Their Mad Hatter sport weight is 4 ounces, 345 yards of 100% superwash. And their blossoms are dyed and wound in capes where it's a gradient like dark to light. This one's a little bit stripy. So they did 2 colors. I have one left of the scarab. These are $40 a piece. And we have a bunch of the little handout postcards that they had that have links to like 6, 7. We've got them on the table here. So let me grab them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different sport weight patterns. Let's see. One uses a Blossom Mad Hatter Sport, Blossom or Mini Skein, multiple weight options, crochet. So 2 are crochet, 4 are knit. So if you need ideas for sport weight yarn, grab one of these cards. It's got a QR code on the back that has links to all of those PDFs, and it says they'll be available until next April. So that's kind of cool. I appreciate that they're leaving them available for a while. So yeah, it is so soft. So we've got 1 left of the scarab color, and then we've got 3 of their water lily color. And I like the fact that they send us some that are wound in the opposite way. So these two are the same colorway. Just one is wound where like the green is on the inside of this one, but on the outside of this one. So you can kind of see what you're working with, what's buried down in the middle there. So we've got 3 of these, which would be fun to do a fairly good sized shawl. Or if you were going to do a striped sweater with a solid, 3 of these would work well for that. So those are exclusive LYS Day colors also. They just didn't come in time. Let's see what else. Oh, I wanted to kind of tell everybody about the about H&H. I didn't go. I think I mentioned last week that I wasn't going to go, that Deb and Ashley went. So we sat down on Saturday and I got a little bit of a recap of some of the things they found at the market. They got ideas or leads for a couple different indie dyers that could do custom yarns for us. They got some samples. Malabrigo is coming out with a new base yarn. It's a worsted weight yarn, a non-superwash dyed worsted weight yarn. I'm not quite sure. I know they have it available for us to pre-order. I don't quite know exactly when it's going to be available, so I don't have a whole lot of information about it yet, but and they came out with a couple new colors in that base. They are coming out with more colors of their mohair. Earth is coming out with a mohair, or has come out with a mohair that we could get and bring in if we wanted. Chigu has altered their Forte sets again to make all of the tips the carbon fiber. So any sets that I get, well, I don't know if it'll be any sets that I get moving forward because they may still have some of the 2.0 sets, but when they're going to continue manufacturing them, but they're going to transition everything to carbon fiber. So I don't know if they had issues with some of the larger tips being wood and breaking. We haven't heard any issues. That doesn't mean it hasn't been happening. And I believe at some point they are going to be coming out with them for sale individually, not as, in addition to the complete set. So this is one of those things where I have some information, but not all the information about things, but that's okay. I can pass on to you what it is that I know. While they were gone last week, I put together my inspiration photos for our custom color for this year. I got them sent off to 3 dyers. I didn't think I was going to get a 3rd one in, but I did. So I've gotten version lost the tip of a US 6. Yeah, Heather, I know the 2s through 8s were the ones they were initially having problems with. I hadn't heard anything about the 9s through 15s, but I guess they've decided to transition, and maybe it's availability of the wood was not as readily available. I'm not sure. So our custom yarn, 3 different dyers. I have gotten commitments from all 3 that at least one of them has already started working on. Well, 2 of them have actually said they've already started playing around with color ideas. So Ridiculous, we're going back to Ridiculous this year, and she's going to be doing a sparkle sock for us because we must have sparkle sock. And Brenda and Heather are going to do a sport weight gradient for us. And I'm hoping that we'll be able to replicate something. The colors aren't going to be the same, but I have this cowl up here that gets so much attention. And that was with one of our very first, that was the first custom color we had them do when we were actually open here in the shop. It was called Spring Mix. And the pattern is a Susan B. Anderson pattern that I swear I'm always going to remember, and I can't. But I'm hoping I can replicate it or remake it with our new custom color. So And of course, Dream in Color is doing smushy cashmere for us. They have Veronica, who is the owner, was the previous owner of Dream in Color, is continuing through this year to do color consults with Madeline Tosh. So I've reached out to her. She's on board. She's going to the Mad Tosh Dye Studios once a month to do custom colors like this. So hopefully they get working on that soon. But yeah, it's exciting. That means we're getting close to summer events. So the end of this month, I mentioned it's busy at the end of the month is when, as a reminder, I know I talked about this before, but Saginaw is hosting the Memorial Cup, which is going to bring a lot of people to the area. They are hosting the Shop Sensational Saginaw here downtown, inside and outside, the 23rd through the 30th of May. I'm looking at my, nope, 25th through the 30th of May. And so that will be, I'm hoping it doesn't scare all of you away. We do still want to have some social time. I don't know how much traffic is going to drive to the yarn store. I'm hoping just in general, it's going to be bustling around the market and around the downtown area. It's going to bring a lot of people to the area, which is good. Then we've got our 2 yarn crawls in July, the middle of the mitten yarn crawl, July 11th through 20th. We do have bags available still for purchase. They're $10. You get a bag and the passport. And then July 26th through August 4th is the Heartland Yarn Adventure. And we are open every day for both of those yarn crawls. So we are open Sundays, Mondays, and Tuesdays, in addition to all of our other regular days. So weekdays, you guys are welcome to come and hang out with us too, because Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays tend to be, or Mondays and Tuesdays tend to be kind of quiet when we do the yarn crawls. And unless I'm doing a trunk show, which I haven't talked to anybody about yet, so I may not. Then we might not have a whole lot of knitting room, but as we get closer, we'll chat more about that. Malcolm, at least one player has a mom that knits. She'll be there. Awesome. I figure, hockey is a cold sport. It's got to have a lot of people that knit to keep warm, both while they're watching and to wear things while they're watching hockey. So, and a lot of the people are from Canada and it's cold there. So I hope it'll have a lot of knitters coming in. I wish I had a custom color here in time for that, but we do have some of our former years custom colors that maybe they'll want as souvenirs, because that's kind of cool too. So those are the things that are coming up. Let me see what else is on my note. I think that's it for this week, you guys. Well, I didn't even talk about what I'm wearing. So I am wearing the Velocore top by Andrea Maury. It uses fingering weight yarn. So what I used was Cascade 220 fingering, which is down here at the bottom. They come in 50-gram skeins. It's a non-superwash fingering weight yarn. And then the original pattern, she uses 3 colors total, her main color, and then she uses 2 contrast colors. Instead of doing that, I use the Zauberball Crazy. What do they call it? Yeah, Zauberball Crazy yarn. So it does kind of a slow color change thing. Just did the 2 yarns and let it kind of do its own thing. There's no front or back. So it looks a little bit different. You can see this is a little bit more pink, but same color yarn in the background for the whole thing. It just changes on its own. So one I haven't worn in a while, and it's perfect for in here because it's a little bit chilly. But it's not that cold where I need long sleeves or my cozy sweater over me. All right, so I think that is all I have for you today. Get your stuff for the yarn crawls. Now we have 1 crochet hook set left if you want that for yourself or for somebody else. And yeah, I think that's it. So I hope everybody has a good evening. Maybe I got a little fried in the sunshine today, my brain and my and my shoulder. I hope everybody has a good week. And if we don't see you here in the shop, then I hope that we see you at 7 o'clock right back on here, either Facebook or YouTube, to join us and keep chatting more about what's going